Now you have your own set of binaural beats, and I was wondering what your creative input was on those. A lot of people have asked, how did you create them? And what were you working towards when you created those binaural beats?
Okay, I'd be glad to answer that. Of course, a binaural beat is you get a pure tone in one ear and another tone in the other ear, and those two tones are just a little different. And that difference frequency is called the beat frequency. So let's say you have 1,000 hertz in this ear and 1,004 hertz in that ear. Those two tones will go through your brain, come to the corpus callosum, which is the membrane between the two hemispheres, and you'll actually get a beat frequency there from the signal running down through the auditory nerve system. That is called that's a binaural beat. Binaural means, one tone in one ear, one tone in the other. That's binaural, two hearing. And the beat frequencies, they're different. So what that does is it entrains brain waves. If you have a 4 hertz beat, and it could be 100 and 104, or it could be 96 and 100, there's 4 hertz difference. So it doesn't matter. It's the difference frequency is what the beat frequency will be at the corpus callosum. And if you have an EEG on your head, it'll show that the brainwave energy starts to move down to 4 hertz. So that's what they call brainwave entrainment. So whatever that beat frequency is, it tends to have the measurement of the EEG move into that level of frequency. Now, when Dennis actually first found this technology in an old Scientific American, I think it was like a 1967 or 66 version by a gentleman named Oster. I don't remember his first name, but it was an Oster. And he published this about binaural beats having a brainwave entrainment. So we took it to the lab and we optimized it over about 2 weeks. We tried different waveforms, sawtooth waves, sine waves, triangle waves, every kind of wave that we could think of. And as it turned out, the most effective one was just a regular old sine wave. And none of the fancy waves were of any value. We tried different bass frequencies, like whether it was 100 and 104 or 10,000 and 10,004. You still get a 4 hertz beat. And we found certain bass frequencies we like better than others. And since then, I've found that males tend to like the lower frequencies better and females like the upper. And if you have trouble staying focused, well, get something higher, like about 500 cycles, because that's about the same kind of frequency that you get when you turn on an alarm. It's a sound that, kind of grabs your attention. And if you have trouble paying attention, then that sounds good, because it's hard to let that one go from your attention, because it just grabs you and holds you there. If you are more into a sensory thing, you go to the opposite end and do like 32 hertz, and then 32 plus or minus 4. And now you get a tone that you can feel. You feel your whole body moving, your legs, your chest, everything is vibrating, because at that low frequency, it actually does move your body around. It has a low enough frequency, it can do that. So it depends on what you like. And some people like the higher end, some people like the lower end. And what I did with mine is that I started with plain binaural beats. And then I saw that some people would have trouble falling asleep and other people would have trouble getting but so deep and so on. So I would modify them. I put little blips in there that were little wake-up signals. And they occurred every so often. And I had little drops that were dropping down to 2 hertz, not 4. But for just short times, my wake-up things were only half a minute. They were like 30 seconds long from beginning to end. Just enough to kind of tap you on the shoulder and say, wake up. Get back to work, but not enough to disturb your state, because it takes a little more time for you to change state. So in 30 seconds, you don't change state, but it gives you a tap on the shoulder. And then I also had, like I said, drops down to 2 hertz. It doesn't stay there long enough to make you go to sleep, which it would if you just listened to 2 hertz, you'd probably go to sleep, lose consciousness. But just for, say, a minute, well, you don't lose consciousness in a minute. It takes longer to shift your body like that. So just long enough to pull you down. That's a little deeper. So I have all this stuff going on. Some things are going up, some things are going down. The bass frequencies are changing. They're not static. You don't keep the same bass frequencies through one binaural beat. You might change through 6 different bass frequencies. And that's because all of that change helps people stay awake, because there's things going on. When they hear the same tone and nothing else but that tone, they have a higher probability of going to sleep. But if you're a long-time meditator, that doesn't occur to you. They don't put you to sleep. So it just depends on you, how much you already know, what kind of frequencies you like, what feels good to you. And the only way to know that is to get all of them, play them all, and see which ones you like best. But beware, if the one you really like best now, it's so much better than all the rest, 3 or 4 months later, that'll be the worst one. If you listen to them all again, you'll find something else, probably almost opposite to that you like better.
Right.
And then 3 or 5, 6 months after that, it'll change again. There's something else that you'll like better. It has more to do with what you bring to the table than the beat itself. What you bring, the mood you're in, how disturbed you are about what's going on in your life, all those things affect the way you and the binaural beats interact with each other. So what you bring changes. For most people, it changes like every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Most people, they're all over the place. If you just take an EEG, somebody, stuff, you got energy going in every kind of frequency, and it comes and goes, and it's not very coherent. But this binaural beat will make your EEG a lot more coherent and a lot less random.
So don't be discouraged and keep experimenting.
Yeah, just don't be discouraged. If you try one binaural beat and you say, well, that didn't do anything for me, it kind of gave me a headache, or I don't like it, well, try another one and try another one. And you'll eventually, when you cycle through all of them, you'll find one that works really good for you. Now, some of that is that binaural beat kind of works for where you are now. But as you change where you are now, the beat that works best for you will also change. So that's why every 3 or 4 months you ought to go through the whole set and see what's working for you now. But these binaural beats are very meticulously designed over, what did we have, about 20 of the courses where we taught people how to do paranormal things. These are courses that were in brick and mortar places. And the people would take I'd give them a bit of a lecture of what was going on in a paranormal thing, and then they'd go put on a headset and practice it for 50 minutes, come back and we'd talk about it. Then they'd go practice a different binaural beat, and then they'd come back, we'd talk about it, and so on. And this was 5 days of this, and went through a lot of binaural beats. And me getting feedback from the people, because they'd come back and then they'd tell their feedback. And through that feedback, I could modify these binaural beats in order to help the people that fall asleep, help the people that get lost, help the people that kind of don't fall asleep, but they don't do anything either, and help the people who get hyper and start doing too much. And so I made different binaural beats for different kinds of people at different frequencies. And a lot of science, like I say, 20 different courses, and the courses would have
tested them out too.
Yeah, the courses would have, what do we have, like 40 people or so in the course. So 40 people going through, I think it was 13 or 14 binaural beats. I would collect all that data and try to make the binaural beat selection a little better and a little better. So 20 courses later, I got them about as good as they could get.
Now, those current ones you have about 14 that come with Exploring Consciousness, which is the result of the 20 immersives that we have. So Exploring Consciousness comes with those 14 binaural beats that you developed listening to all of these, all of the feedback that was going on in the immersives. Yeah,
that's right. And then I made another set that actually ran the change in bass frequency in the opposite direction, and there's another 14 of those. So there's really 28 altogether.
Okay.
Some people like an ascending, like they're ascending up and higher, and other people like the descending. Oh, their state's getting deeper and deeper. They're descending. Yeah. So it depends on your personality and the way you think of these things. You might like an ascending beat or a descending beat because that metaphor then resonates with you. Oh, I like the descending because I'm getting deeper and deeper into my state. Oh, I like the ascending because I'm going higher and higher up in my
Yeah.
frequency.
Yeah.
So however you think about it will affect how it affects you. Again, your mind affects how your body deals with things.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
that's why there's so many of them, and you can decide kind of right away whether you like ascending or descending, and so on. But they're not that expensive. It's not like it costs a whole lot to get the whole set, for that matter.
Yeah.
They're a lot less expensive than most just single binaural beats that you can find out there. But that I should mention. There's a course there called Exploring Consciousness with Thomas Campbell and All Things Paranormal. And that is basically these courses, these 20 courses I'm talking about, done in audio, the best of the best.
Yeah.
The best explanations, the best questions, the best answers. And we line that all up. So it's still a 5-day course, but you can do it in 5 weeks if you like, or 5 years if you like.
Yes.
It's more effective if you do it intensively over 5 days, because intensive learning is usually, you learn a little more intensively, like learning a language. If you just go live in that country whose language you're trying to learn, you'll learn it a lot faster than if you're in a school that meets, a class that meets once a week. Every Saturday you go to, German lessons or Russian lessons. It's going to take you a long time to get that language. But if you just embed yourself in where that language is the only thing that's spoken, in 2 or 3 weeks, you'll pick up a whole lot more.
And unlike the live events, you can go back to it. You own it. You go back to it as many times as you want.
Right. Yeah, you can do it as many times. Yeah, the live event, when it's over, it's over. But
it's over, and they were costly. This isn't.
Yeah, right. They were very costly. That was, like $2,500 or something to get into a live event. But these are much, much less than that.
It was a good way to make it available to everyone, that you didn't have to travel or spend a lot of money on.
Yeah, but brick and mortar is very expensive. You have to buy food, you have to rent rooms, there's lots of expenses involved in that. The infrastructure, the cameras, the whole thing was very expensive. But this is not so expensive, because all you do is get an audio download and listen to it as often and in whatever order you want.
Exactly, all the main topics that you do.
If you're interested in learning how to experience the paranormal for yourself, this is the course for you. That's what I do. 5 days, I do 5 different paranormal things. The last one is the out of body, but there's mind-to-mind communications and remote viewing and getting data from the databases and just all of the
healing, remote
all
viewing.
of that, healing. So all of those things are in there, a day for each one. They're explained how they work, why they work, and the ethics that goes along with each one, because each one requires ethical use. They can be abused. So that course, that course is good for experiencing it, yourself. And one of the things I say often is, if it's not your experience, it's not your truth. You can read about it and read what other people felt about it, and that gives you an intellectual understanding, but you cannot get to a being level understanding until you experience it. So if you want to have that as your own truth, because the paranormal things by themselves are neither here nor there. They're not that important that you learn how to do paranormal things, but they're great training tools for you to develop your sense of who you are and what you are. They will help you find humility, because you'll realize that you're just a very small thing in a very big place. And you don't feel quite the master of the universe anymore when you realize how big that universe really is, because it's not a universe of physical things. It's the universe of consciousness, and that is thousands of times bigger. So
and that's who we really are.
Yeah, it's a good learning tool. So you will grow through your paranormal experiences, and when you're done, you'll give it all up. It's not about the paranormal experience. It's about learning to develop your intuitive side. Nothing paranormal ever happens through the intellectual side. It only happens through the intuitive side. Right. And once you develop that intuitive side, then you can use it for anything. It's good for doing better work at work. Wherever you work, it's good for almost every facet of your life to have an active intuitive channel. So it's a good thing to learn. So if you really want to learn that so that it's your experience, then that's a very good course to
Yeah.
take.
Well, thank you for expanding on the binaural beats theme that we had in the question, and that I had to mention that those were included in the Exploring
Hmm.
Consciousness program. I know you meticulously worked on all of those with your vast experience. So thanks for going into that. Thanks.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. I think that's news that people can use because it is
Yeah.
it is a learning process, and I don't think there's any other way to learn those. I mean, there's lots of people teaching things like that,
Mhm.
but they almost always come with, rituals, things you have to do, things you have to believe, lots of excess baggage. Whereas my work is simply clean, straightforward, and there's no rituals, there's nothing to believe. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of understanding how it works and then practicing doing it so that you get good at it. It's a very simple, straightforward process. No magic is involved. It's just you and your consciousness, and you just learning how to develop the intuitive side of your
Yeah.
consciousness. It's just as simple as that. There's
Yeah.
nothing else involved, and no magical gestures or secret passwords or handshakes or anything goes along with it. It's just straight science, and it's in a language that everybody can easily understand.
Thank you, Tom. Love is the answer. If there's one way to discover this truth that Tom Campbell, physicist and consciousness expert, has concluded, it is through your own experience. Give yourself the gift of experiencing yourself. After all, Tom has stated so many times that if it's not your experience, it's not your truth. So learn to experience with Tom's Exploring Consciousness and Everything Paranormal program and unlock those natural abilities for yourself. Discover why love is the answer. Binaural beats included to assist you. Details are in the description below. Thank you.